Kosar, backpedaling, long ball, Webster Slaughter, he's got the ball, he's down to the 5-yard line, and the Browns have indeed a chance to win it.
I don't like losing. You got to know what it takes to win in the National Football League, and I think we're going to get there. I truly believe that. I think right now we're not.
With the first pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Baker Mayfield.
This is Everything Browns Nation, and now your host, a lifelong diehard Browns fan just like you, here's Corey Boyd.
Yes, yes, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning, wherever you're at. It could be good afternoon as well. I am Corey Boyd. This is Everything Browns Nation. It is Beat Pittsburgh Week here in Columbus, Ohio, also in Cleveland, and also in Pittsburgh. Let's beat Pittsburgh. That is the theme of this show. Let's get it started. Let's get it going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it started right now, wherever you are at. Let me know where you're making your comment from in the comment section. I see JC is already in the building. I said it again, in the comment section. Right behind me, let me know where you're at on the map. On the map, let me know where you are at. Natasha gives the wave. Clyde is in the comment section. Let me know where you are at on Pittsburgh Week. Let's beat Pittsburgh. It is the second meeting this season. Week 1, we all know when went down, the tie that should have not been a tie. Let's get everything going. And ladies and gentlemen, if you missed this show, catch us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, like us, Everything Browns Nation. And also, ladies and gentlemen, get over to Fan Chat Nation right now, the voice of the fans, and go ahead and like that Facebook page because we are starting everything for the fans. Go ahead and get over the Fan Chat Nation, the voice of the fans, where Everything Browns Nation, all of our videos will be there as well. I'm telling you, we are doing huge things. We got big things coming for you. So wherever you are at, let's get down and beat Pittsburgh. Let me know where you are from. Let's get it started. Clyde says, let's beat Pittsburgh from Grove City. And also, I want to give a shout out. I don't know if he is watching right now, but Josh Corden, Everything Browns /Patreon. He became a Patreon last week, so I want to give a shout out to Josh Corden. If you know him, let him know I gave him a shout out, or if he sees this later, hopefully he sees my shout out. Shout out to Josh Corden, who became a Patreon at patreon.com/Everything Browns. Go over there to give us a little bit of love so we can give you more information. But enough of me rambling on. Last week, another heartbreaker for the Cleveland Browns as we fell short against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Another gut-wrenching loss. And guess what? Another overtime loss for the Cleveland Browns. Another OT game. I mean, I don't know if I am going to be able to take it anymore. All of these overtime games is not good for my health. I'm throwing things at the screen. I don't know if I can take it anymore. All of these overtime games, I can't take it. What went wrong in the 26-23 loss to Tampa Bay in your estimation? Let me know in the comments what went wrong on the loss to Tampa Bay. Why did Cleveland lose? What went wrong? JC says, let's talk about how the refs are really doing us wrong and then saying they messed up after the fact. That does not help us win games. You know, JC, you are absolutely right. You know, the refs, they admit their mistakes after the fact, but who cares after the fact? Yeah, we missed the call. We're sorry. We're going to send you a letter in the mail and let you know we messed up. It won't happen again until next Sunday when you play. That's basically what they're saying. We don't care about your apologies. Get it right on the field, referees. Do your job. You get paid to make the call correct. And if you don't know what call we're talking about the scramble where our quarterback, Baker Mayfield, scrambled like the quarterback that he is. I mean, doing his thing, getting the first down, sliding, and then out of nowhere, head-to-head, helmet-to-helmet contact. And what do the referees say? Well, he was a runner, and he's allowed to get hit in the head. Excuse me? He's a runner, and he's allowed to get hit in the head. Now, I want you to repeat that to yourself, referees, when you watch that film over and you're refereeing this weekend. So everybody that gets hit in the head this week that is running, I want you to make that same ridiculous call on them too. They're running and they get hit in the head. So we're going to pick up the flag that would have been an extra 15 yards on top of it. And you know what I don't want to hear from everybody in the world? Well, they went down and they didn't score on the 1 yard line. It doesn't matter. The call is the call. Make the correct call on the field. A quarterback got hit in the head and you pick up the flag. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear nothing of that mess. A quarterback gets hit in the head and you pick up the flag, and then a couple of days later, we get an apology note on a sticky note that says, my bad. I don't want to hear that mess. Shut up with that nonsense. JC also says bad play calling. Lee says referees don't help. Baker luckily wasn't concussed. And JC says laugh out loud, he's a runner so he can get hit in the head. And Ross says, what about that false start on San Diego they missed? And Jesse says, go Browns. I can go on forever with the refs. Now, the false start in San Diego, that wouldn't have changed the game. We got our butt whoops. But the point is, call it. It was a touchdown play. Okay? Myles Garrett stopped because he thought it was a false start. Now, would he have got the Rivers? We don't know. But we wasn't going to win that game. We got smoked. But you still have to make the call. It was a blatant false start. I mean, he had a good second start before Myles Garrett could even rush, and you just let it go. And later on, that official, Hugo Cruz, was fired. Now, do I want to see a man lose his job? I don't care. Because you got to make the call, okay? You get paid to make the call. Now, what went wrong in Tampa Bay? I'm going to blame the Tampa Bay loss on our anemic offense. Our offense was absolutely pathetic against Tampa Bay. It was terrible. It was horrible. And I don't know what's going on with this offense, but it needs to get together and quickly, I might add. Against Tampa Bay, everybody was saying, well, the Browns offense should easily put up points because Tampa Bay's pass defense is pathetic and they're no good. And this is where Baker Mayfield can get it right. No, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. We could not score on Tampa Bay. The only score we got in the first half was a freaking safety, and that was by our defense. Our offense was absolutely pathetic against Tampa Bay until the second half arrived. Too little, too late. You have to score in the first half. We are not scoring points in the first half, and it is absolutely pathetic. And in the first quarter, we have 8 points all year long. 8 points in the first quarter all year long. What does that mean? That means we are playing catch up, ladies and gentlemen, all year long. That cannot happen, especially going into Pittsburgh today. We cannot just score 8 points. So, ladies and gentlemen, whose fault is it that this offense is not working? Is it Hugh Jackson's fault? Is it Todd Haley's fault? Give a call, 1-866-217-1966. Let me know how you feel. How are you feeling about the play calling? How are you feeling about Hugh Jackson? Are you upset? 1-866-217-1966. JC says, I think Duke is not involved enough in the play calling. And Lee says, you're fired. Well, let's go ahead and get on to Hugh Jackson. How do you guys feel about Hugh Jackson? Should Hugh Jackson be fired? Should Hugh Jackson be safe? Hugh Jackson came out last week and said, you know what? I'm going to get more involved in the offense of play calling. I'm going to get involved. I'm going to get dirty into this and see what, excuse me. So what have you been doing? What are you doing all week? You're an offensive coach. You're going to get involved in the offensive play calling. Now, I know you have an offensive coordinator, but come on, Hugh Jackson. Should Hugh Jackson be fired if the Browns lose? You know what? I was the nice guy last year and the nice guy the year before and the year after that, but I'm sick and tired of what I see. Now, I know what people are going to say. Well, give them a chance. The year's not over. What if they win today? It's not about that. It's about what I see. We cannot continue to have penalties, boneheaded penalties, every single freaking week and just say, well, okay, we need to get Duke Johnson the ball. How many times are we going to say that every week? We need to get Duke Johnson the ball. We need to get Duke Johnson the ball. And he doesn't get the ball. He didn't get the ball last week either, and Carlos Hyde is not here. So what's the excuse now? What's the excuse now? Now, I know I'm just a fan watching on TV, but this is getting absolutely pathetic. Pathetic. Duke Johnson does not touch the ball. Our penalties rack up week after week after week, and it is just alarming. The discipline goes with the coach. The discipline of your team goes with the coach of your team. You can blame the players all you want. That's fine. But if it's a weekly habit, what are you doing during the week to fix the problem with the penalties? It makes no sense whatsoever to have this many penalties. We had 14 penalties for 114 yards last week. 114 yards worth of penalties. That's coaching, ladies and gentlemen. That is coaching. Lee says we need a number one receiver, play opposite Landry. Ngochu's getting better. Duke in motion. Chubb 20-plus carries. Calvin says, what's up, twin? What's up, Calvin? Natasha says, he should have been fired last year. And Lee says holding calls every time we have a big play. And Clyde says, what change would you like to see? The first change I would like to see is I keep harping over this and it never happens. Duke Johnson needs the ball and it doesn't happen. And if it takes a coaching change for it to happen, at this point, I don't care anymore. I'm tired of being nice. I'm sick of it. Come on, Hugh. Get it together. I don't want to see you every week after the game saying Duke needs to get the ball. Get him the ball. I see plenty of running backs like Duke Johnson getting the ball, finding ways to get him the ball. Okay? Get him the ball then. Get him the ball. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. You can get Duke Johnson the ball. 5 touches a game is not good enough. Get him the ball. Get these guys disciplined. 14 penalties for 114 yards. You can't win games like that. Every time we make a big play now, what do? I look for a flag. I just do. I'm scared. Where's the flag? It's coming back. Please don't come back. We need this. Get Duke the ball. Stop the penalties, because against a team like Pittsburgh, you need all the big plays you can get, especially going to Heinz Field. You're going to have to put up some points. Josh says we can't keep firing coaches. Eddie says what happened to the defense. Calvin says first change is Johnson needs to rock. Calvin says penalty needs to stop. Julie with the thumbs up. And Calvin says this game needs to be flawless. Josh, I agree we can't keep firing coaches. But we can't keep the same thing either. If we keep losing close games, we keep getting penalties, and we keep saying, well, we got to get Duke Johnson the ball. We got to work on getting Duke Johnson the ball. Then what's the solution? Get Duke Johnson the ball, fix up these penalties, or somebody's got to go. Now, I heard Ian Rappaport about a couple hours ago saying if the offense doesn't change this week, if something doesn't look better, he said, don't be surprised if a change is coming. And he said that didn't mean it could be Hugh. He said it could be Haley too. Maybe not Hugh. So a lot could be riding on this game. Offensively, at least. Because it looks like they're tired of seeing this anemic offense on the field. I am too. Now, granted, our receivers are banged up. I will give them that. But we've got to put points on the board, ladies and gentlemen. Lee says a Wildcat, laugh out loud. Calvin says all the big plays. Marco says, good morning, fam. What up? Producer G and Corey. What's up, Marco? Corey Robinson says, if we lose today, fire Hugh. JC says, Hugh Jackson is soft. He needs to man up. Brian says, need to make a solid offensive line. And Calvin says, Hugh is soft, which is why we never got Josh in check. Our whole office is for that reason, actually. And Lee says, keep Haley and Williams. And JC says, our O-line needs some work as well. This game is a big game. And the reason why, not only is it Pittsburgh, but if you look at our schedule coming up, we got some mighty offenses coming up on our schedule. Kansas City, Atlanta, ladies and gentlemen, the big dogs are coming. And I don't mean big dogs of the week. I mean the offenses are coming. So we're going to have to be able to put up some points to match, because our defense is not going to shut these offenses down the whole game. Our defense has shown some holes. They're still creating turnovers. They can't live on the field, and we can't expect them to stop the offense every single possession. Our offense can't go 3 and out. We have to switch the field position. Give the defense some rest. The offense needs to put up points. Calvin says Mayfield needs to get rid of the ball quicker, and if he can't make a quick decision. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got to put up points. Maybe we could use a weapon or two. That would help also. But we lost out on a weapon last week. A chance had a weapon. There will be no Amari Cooper coming to town. None at all. But there is a new weapon on the market, ladies and gentlemen. Deshaun Jackson told Tampa Bay literally a couple of hours ago, I want out. Get me out of here. I am tired of Jameis Winston and Uber drivers and crab legs and all that nonsense. I'm tired. I liked it better with Fitzmagic. Should the Browns trade for Deshaun Jackson? Should they trade for the deep threat that is Deshaun Jackson? Should they go after him? Let me know in the comment section. Should we go after Deshaun Jackson? Give Baker a deep threat that can actually catch the football. Should we go after him? I don't know what Tampa Bay wants. I don't know. I haven't seen what they're looking for. I did see that they were hesitant on trading him, even though that he asked for the trade. But we know once a player wants out, that is not a good sign for your team. So you might as well just give him what he wants. I say go after him. You know how I feel. I want all the talent possible. You're a coach. You get paid. Make it work. He stretches the field. He still has speed to burn. He can catch the football, and he can be that deep threat that Baker so needs, and also can open up the run game. I say go after Deshaun Jackson. Now, I know he's been to Philly, and he's been to Washington, and now he's to Tampa Bay, and why can't he stay on the team? I don't care. I want him. He's talented. He's deep, and you're probably not going to have to give up a lot for him because he's up in age. So you're not going to have to demand a first-round pick for Deshaun Jackson. You might can give up a late-round pick for Deshaun Jackson to get him to Cleveland if he wants to go. Callaway hasn't panned out yet. It's early, but him as a deep threat, it's not working. I say go after him. What do you guys say? Well, let me read and see what you guys are saying.
Yeah, let me actually just appreciate everybody who's checking in with us. I would just really appreciate everybody right now who's leaving us comments. You guys can give us a like. Hit those emojis down there in the bottom. Give us a share into your favorite Browns groups. Invite all your Browns friends to the video. We're trying to develop this community here. This is the voice of the fans, Fan Chat Nation, everything Browns Nation. Again, appreciate all you guys and all your comments. Let's try to spread this thing out there.
Thank you. Yes. Fan Chat Nation, ladies and gentlemen. We are starting a nation for the fans. Get over there to that Facebook page. Please give it a like. All of our videos will be on that page as well. We are going to be a community of fans to just voice the voice of the voiceless. That was a CM Punk, in case you don't know what that is. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, Laura says good morning. Laura is in the comment section. Good morning, Laura. Marco says yes, but no more than a 5th or 6th round pick. LA, my guy LA in the building. Good morning, LA. He says Jackson wants to go to a winner, a 6th round pick. But the good thing about that, hey, you don't get to pick where you go. You're not a free agent. So, hey, if we call them and they like what we want, you're stuck with us. So we don't care what you want, Deshaun Jackson. Now, I want you on my team. I am not bad-mouthing you. I'm just saying, hey, if we got what Tampa Bay wants, send them our way. I understand you want to go to a winner. You're getting up there in age. But we're trying to turn this thing around, Deshaun. Have faith. Your skills will get us over the hump. You're a winner, Deshaun. That's how you got to look at that.
Since we're still talking about the receiver position, let me just go ahead and ask you this then, and I want to ask everybody in the comments too what you guys think so far. Are you satisfied with Jarvis Landry so far, just overall?
Are you satisfied with Jarvis Landry so far? Let us know in the comment section. I will preference my answer on this. For what we have at the receiving position, he is our only receiver, so I say yes. I don't see Jarvis Landry as that number one go-to main guy on a receiving team. I see him as a slot receiver, a number 2, with a number 1 go-to guy. Now, I know Cleveland paid him as a number 1 guy, but to me, he needs that other receiver piece with him for him to get his full capability. But for what we have right now, I'm happy with him because we have nothing at the receiver position behind Jarvis Landry. Ngochu is getting his legs under him. He has the dropsies at points. Callaway's still working as a rookie. He has dropsies. And then everybody else, we have injuries mounting up. As soon as Hollywood Higgins is getting into his groove, he gets injured with an MCL injury. So as far as Jarvis Landry goes, I'm satisfied for what he has to work with in that receiving core. The cornerbacks and the secondaries on the other team, they're looking at our receiving core and they're going, just stop number 80, make anybody else beat us, go.
I would expect him to be the number 1. He was the number 1 in Miami. He had 90 catches a season. He's one of the fastest players to however many catches that he has right now. So I would definitely expect him to put up number 1 type numbers. And you compare him to a guy like, at least I do, I compare him to a guy like Antonio Brown, a similar style of play. So I definitely would have high expectations. I know you said he needed to have that number 1, and you thought maybe they had plans of Josh Gordon being around. I think that they were planning on Josh Gordon not being around, so that's kind of why this move was made. And as you've seen on the Hard Knocks, he comes in, he's that leader, and that's the thing that you look for probably more than anything, trying to get the other guys to perform to their best abilities. But just for me, I'm expecting big numbers from him. 90 catches again. When he did it with Ryan Tannehill, he should be able to come in here and do it.
Yeah, I think he still can get 90 catches, but I think catches are different. Like Antonio Brown's 90 catches and Jarvis Landry's 90 catches are totally different. I just don't see him as the same league as Antonio Brown. I think Antonio Brown is just in a whole other atmosphere when it comes to wide receivers. I think Antonio Brown is on a whole nother level.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I also know that he started in a similar fashion where he was kind of labeled as a slot guy at first, and now he's just all over the field. He does everything. But I don't know, man. I just feel like you paid him all this money, you brought him in, you expect him to be that number 1, and I don't think they were relying on Josh Gordon to be there, because if you need a Josh Gordon to be there for you to have success, are you really a number 1? Maybe he's not. I don't know, but they definitely paid him like that, like you said.
Yeah, I don't view him as a number 1, and like I said, I went and got rid of Gordon, but that's another story for another day. And I think if Antonio Brown played with this group of receivers, I think it will be hard for him to put up numbers too. I mean, we're not working with a lot here right now, and we're also working with a rookie quarterback as well. I mean, it's
I hear what you're saying.
I'm not sad with Landry right now.
I just want to say Ryan Tannehill. And they didn't really have any other receivers there. Maybe Devontae Parker was kind of up and coming, but Kenny Stills. I mean,
that receiving core is better than what we have right now.
But you're right though. Like as far as his 90 is different than another 90 because this guy doesn't get huge yardage. He might get you 90 catches and just barely over 1,000 yards. And Antonio Brown gets you 90 catches. He's probably got 1,600 yards. So you're right. There's definitely a big difference. He's not that big play, huge receiver going down the field, but he definitely is your go-to guy in my mind.
Yes. Right now he is definitely. We have no choice, but I'm happy with him. Lee says yes. Teddy says Jarvis has been good considering what we had to work with. Yes. Eddie says, Eddie Stats is in the building. He said, I would get Dez, my guy, and Jackson. Eddie is still on the Dez Bryant train. Eddie should be Dez's agent. I'm telling you right now. Sue says, yes, love him. JC says, yes, he has now no one to take the pressure off. Lee said he has heart. And Calvin says, well, Jarvis is doing what he can, and by him being the only receiver, he is going to be targeted. And Eric says, yes, leadership is what we need really bad. And Kerry says, good luck to the Browns. I want to see a win, but looking to get better every week. And can we get that chant going? Who are we playing today?
By the way, Kerry said she does not see a win, but she hopes to get better every week.
What did I say?
You said she hopes to see a win.
Oh, she does not see a win. Sorry, Kerry.
She's saying she
I don't see a win, but looking better every week. Okay, Kerry. Sorry, I misquoted you.
Speaking of that, get your guys' bold predictions, score predictions. Let's get those going in the comments so we can have something else to talk about too, and we'll get into ours here shortly. So let's hear from you guys. Give your bold and score predictions down there while we play this chant for you.
Get it going. Get that chant going all day long. And also get your big dog of the game in the comment section. Let me know who your big dog is. You know what big dogs do. Right. We need the big dogs out today. We need everything we can get as we're going into Pittsburgh. Let me know who your big dog of the game is and what your prediction is. Calvin says another receiver would open up Jarvis for more action and more of a threat. Lee says he's more like an Edelman. And Eddie says, do you go after Derek Carr if the Raiders put him on the trading block? No. Easy no. Capital N-O, underline, italicize, bold it. No.
Why would you even say that? You just spent your first overall pick
I don't know.
on your quarterback. So
No.
Okay.
Johnny says 24-10 Browns. And Eddie also says, should Browns go after Patrick Peterson? And Calvin says no to Carr. I would rather the Browns go after Conley than Patrick Peterson, but that's just me. Peterson's better, but Conley's younger. That's just me, though. They're going in the youth movement.
You say you'd rather them go after Conley.
Right.
Not me.
Because Peterson's better, but how long is he going to be around?
That's true.
That's just me. I know Peterson's the better corner.
Can Conley get to being as good as Peterson, though? I don't know about that one.
No, I don't know. But Peterson's older. How much longer does he have?
Would you rather have a solid 2 to 3 years of play or an average 6 years of play?
I don't know. That's the argument everybody has, especially a quarterback. Oh, we'll go for the future. We'll see. But Conley and Ward, if Conley can just be.
There's another guy that's on the. I'm pretty sure he's on the trade block because having the Cowboys show last week, we talked about it. There's rumors at least that Devontae Parker might be available.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Landry's teammate in Miami, and then Kelvin Benjamin from Buffalo is another guy that could be on the block. So
yeah, he can stay in Buffalo.
No interest there?
No.
On either one?
If you're going to throw Cam Newton under the bus, I'm pretty much done with you. Like, come on now. Like, he'd be too much of a headache. We're talking about having headaches in the locker room, then I'm good with Calvin Benjamin. I am good. LA says Conley is nice on paper. Clyde said bold prediction, refs call a fair game. That's bold. I can stop right there. The refs call a fair game in a Cleveland game? Oh, please. And he said big dog is Mayfield, 25 for 30, 313, and 3 touchdowns.
You know what's funny is the refs call bad games every week, and they call bad calls against both teams, but only the losing team is the one like, the refs made bad calls. That's just how it's going to be. If you win the games, then you don't even care about the refs.
Well, they haven't apologized.
Even though they still made bad calls.
They haven't apologized to no team but Cleveland. And no quarterback gets hit in the head, and you say he's a runner, he's allowed to get hit in the head.
Yeah.
And Demaryius Thomas is also out, too. I've seen that. Jesus said, what about Demaryius Thomas? And Lee says, pivotal year, we are looking to be a contender in 2020. And Lee says Demaryius has too many drops. He does drop the ball a lot. With Demaryius Thomas, I see how important Peyton Manning was. Peyton Manning was very important.
For me, he reminds me of Dez Bryant. He's good for about 2 or 3 year stretch, really good. And then now, where is he?
Yeah. Once Peyton Manning left, he went downhill.
Once Romo left for Dez.
Yeah. Lee House said we need dudes that can catch like Steve Smith and Isaiah Williams. I am not going to read that comment on this air. I will not read it.
Oh.
You can read it. I won't. I'll just give you the chance. Isaiah Williams.
Hey, guys, make sure you're checking in with us here every single Sunday. We're here pregame every week, and we're going to be here also all throughout the offseason as well as we get you ready for the 2019 season and see all these changes and building this team. So make sure you guys tune in every week, like and share the page, give us a thumbs up, share into your favorite Browns groups, invite your Browns fans, your friends. Let's just get in here and do this thing all season long, all off season. And just thanks again for everybody who's tuning in and leave us comments with us today.
Yeah, so we are the voice of the fans, Fan Chat Nation is the Facebook page. We will be on there as well. We are starting a community. We want you guys with us on this journey. We want to give you the best content as possible. So join us every Sunday, 11 to 12, for Browns pregame coverage. Now, I know some Sunday mornings are busy. Church, you got things with the kids, fantasy lineups. I get it. I understand. But if you can tune in with me and producer G, I would appreciate it. And we love you for it. And Teddy says we are a must-win situation today. Let's face it. We lose, someone's getting fired in Cleveland, whether it's Todd Haley or maybe even Hugh. And if you missed earlier, Ian Rappaport did report if the offense looks anemic today, if it looks the same and it has been looking the past couple of weeks, that some changes may come, and it might not be Hugh Jackson. It could be Todd Haley. So this game could be a big game for the Cleveland Browns offense. It could be a big game. Laura says, I'm at work, but still here. We love you, Laura, for the dedication to the everything. Yes. Browns Nation, Fan Nation, Buckeye, just the nation's period.
Laura,
we thank you, Laura.
I got something coming for you on Monday, Laura, so watch for that.
Check your mail. And Johnny says, do you think Tyrod gets traded? And Isaiah is still in here speaking blasphemy on the chat.
I love it when other fans do that because it's like you really kind of love the show, though.
Yeah. Hey, I'll take it. I will take it. I will not read that comment. Won't do it. I don't think Tyrod gets traded unless the Browns really get something they like. The only teams I could see wanting him is Jacksonville because, my goodness, they need a quarterback at this point. I don't see San Francisco trading for him at this point. So I don't know where he would go unless the Browns get something they really like. I just think they keep him at the end of the year and go from there. I don't see him getting traded unless Jacksonville comes up with something that the Browns really see that they like.
I don't think Tyrod did anything to prove he has any worth, but hey, what do I know?
That's a good point as well.
Let me see. Here's a comment. Oh, yeah, Eric Muncie here. And, guys, if we don't get your comments or we don't say your comments first, we're not really looking at them in any particular order, so we might come back and forth or bounce around between the comments. But this one, Eric Muncie says, I don't want to see Haley hugging any of his former players today. Is that something he was doing in week one?
I didn't get to see it, but he has a good point. I don't want to see it either. And that's the one thing I hate. Listen, text him after the game. I don't want to see you hugging Antonio Brown, Connor, whoever, Big Ben. I don't want to see you hugging anybody on that sideline.
Do that behind the scenes.
When we don't see it. You better do that when there's no cameras around because, anything gets out these days. I don't want to see it. That's a good comment.
I don't know if you had brought this up, but L.A. brought us to saying if they fire Haley before they fire Hugh, the amount of cursing that he'll do will be epic. So had you brought that up yet? Like, which one would be fired first?
No, I haven't.
So what do you think then? Let's know what you guys think in the comments, too. Which one would be fired first? Hugh Jackson, Todd Haley. Because one of them's going to have to go unless they just clean house and just cut them all. But, they can't really do that.
Yeah, they can't do that. I think it would be Hugh. If one was to go first, I think it would be Hugh Jackson. He's 335-1. If they stink it up today, say they stink it up today and get beat 37-6. Just making up a scorable would be just pathetic and unacceptable. I think Hugh would go before Hugh. Hugh would go before Hugh. I think Hugh will go before Todd Haley. I just do because that's just if you got beat down today at Pittsburgh, the offense does not look good, and everybody knows that was the emphasis of the week. You came out yourself and you said, I'm going to be more hands-on on the offense, and then you kind of backtrack and you said, I'm not calling plays. I didn't say that. I just said I'd be more hands-on. Then what have you been doing for the past weeks? Like, we know you're an offensive coach. You don't have to call the plays, but you could be in the room giving your comments.
Do you think Baker Mayfield has any influence on a decision like that? Would they be like, hey, do you like Todd Haley? You know what I mean? And then if he's like, he's great, you know what I mean? I'd love to keep working with him. Do you think that could have some sort of influence on a decision that could be made there?
I don't think he does, but I don't know.
You don't think he does what?
Have that kind of influence?
I would just think and plus Todd Haley, this is his first season, so they kind of don't really know what they have with him yet. They kind of need to see that develop. With Hugh, like you said, 3 and 35 or whatever. I don't know what to tell you now at this point. Like this is your third year. Like you got to start winning, or you just are what you are.
Yeah, I put it to you this way: this is Haley's first year in this offense. I don't see him going. We have seen Hugh. We've seen his track record. We've seen what he can do. Now I know this is his first year with good players. I get it, but we've seen it. We don't know what Haley can do with this offense for a full season. He's not the head coach. He's just the offensive coordinator. I will repeat again. 14 penalties for 114 yards last week. That's not all players. That's coaching. That's discipline. I'm just saying.
Teddy says Hugh and Todd are obviously bumping heads, which leads me to wonder who. I mean, I know you have John Dorsey now, the GM, but is he the one who's putting that staff in place, or do you let your head coach Hugh Jackson was he like, I want Todd Haley? Makes those decisions?
Dorsey picked the coordinators because he fired everybody else except Hugh. All Hugh's guys were gone except Hugh.
I say that because Calvin Holt said even if you get rid of Hugh, then Haley's got to go too. And if that's true, then that would make me think that Todd Haley would be Hugh Jackson's guy and not so much John Dorsey's.
I don't think he was. To me, I don't think he was Hugh's guy. Like I said, I don't have any inside information because everybody got fired on the staff except Hugh Jackson. And you usually never see that.
Yeah, that sounds like dysfunction already because you would want your coach to be able to hire his guys.
Right. Like his guys were on the staff and they got fired. But he kept Hugh, and he brought in all different coordinators.
It's a sticky situation.
Yeah.
It just sounds like it's set up to fail, and it's sad because you got this young quarterback who's got a lot of potential, and now he's already probably going to have to go through a new head coach, probably new coordinators already.
And I'm probably missing some comments, and I do apologize. LA said, read an article today that Dorsey really likes Haley, so my bet is Hugh. It will be Hugh unless Haslam intervenes. Good point, LA. Thank you. Teddy says Hugh and Todd are obviously bumping heads. We've seen it in Hard Knocks. The writing is on the table, so our play is going to say a lot today offensively. Maybe Baker and Todd Haley are at each other's throats. Who knows? Eddie says Pittsburgh 35-17. Big Dog Chubbs 85 yards and a TD. Get your predictions in the comment section. Get your big dog of the game in the comment section. Let me know who's going to win and why. Teddy says Todd Haley was brought into directly by Haslam, I believe. And Calvin says, I'm going to church in my jersey so the pastor will know to be done by 12:30. That's a good one. And Eric says, who would interim coach be for the rest of the season if Hugh leaves? I believe it would be Todd Haley. And Isaiah is in the comment section again. Of course, you're picking the Steelers to win 28-20. And Calvin says, I'll be the coach. We all would at this point. Thank you for the comments. Keep them coming in the comment section. Also, let me know where you are making your comment from. Where are you at? Are you in Columbus like me? Are you in Cleveland? Are you in Pittsburgh? Are you in Idaho? Are you in Montana? Are you in Atlanta? Just random cities I just happened to pick. Let me know where you are from in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. We take on Pittsburgh at 1 p.m. CBS here in Columbus, Ohio, and Cleveland and around the world. It's going to be a tough game at Pittsburgh. Johnny is in Mission, Texas. Calvin says, we will touch Big Ben again. Lee says, I reported Isaiah to FBS spam. And Teddy says, must-win game today. Browns win big, 38-24. Struthers, Ohio. And Eric says, Delaware, Ohio in the house. And Laura says, Corey, any way to watch online? There's usually somebody on Facebook that will stream it live, Laura. I have seen that happen. So I would look out for it that way. I don't know of any actual websites where you can watch it online. If somebody does, let Laura know in the comment section. Let her know where she can find it online. Calvin says, I'm going out on a limb, 21-6. Isaiah is from Bardstown, Kentucky. Eddie Stats is from Kentucky. Eddie, do you know Isaiah? Let me know. Dwayne says, little worried about this game, 24-21. Cleveland from New York. Michael says, Tiffin, Ohio here. We take the win today. Johnny says, fire stick. I don't know if that will help her online, but you can get the fire stick and also find games as well. Thank you, Johnny. Jesse says, Google Reddit NFL streams. And Lee says, Yahoo Sports plays NFL games. Look at the fans just coming in. That's why we are a fan chat nation. Everything Browns nation. Let's get it going. We stick together. We are fans. I'm just the one yelling in the mic, whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. I'm right every once in a blue moon. And when I'm right, boy, I will let you know about it. Ladies and gentlemen, Laura says thank you. Josh says Warren, Ohio. Calvin says if we win, he's streaking in Dayton. Teddy says thoughts on Brashad Perriman. He didn't do much last week. I didn't expect him to do much. First week with a new team, learning the system. Second week, hopefully he'll do a little bit better. We need some help in the receiving core. He hasn't been the greatest receiver in the world in his career, but I am praying for anybody to step up for Baker. He is a rookie. Whew. He's a rookie. And he says, yes, I know, Isaiah. I shared it on my page. And Eric says, Fire Stick has an NFL app that you can subscribe to. Okay, Eric. They are coming in with ways to watch the game online. Look at the fans coming through for Laura so she can watch the Cleveland Browns take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. 1 p.m. CBS. Get your bold predictions and your big dog of the game in the comment section. LA says, do you think we get more Duke Johnson today? I can't believe we won't line him up with the receiver. LA, if you watch the game with me and you see me yelling, Duke Johnson just doesn't touch the ball, LA. I don't understand why. It's not rocket science. I believe he had 1 carry last game. 1. I think he had 1 freaking carry last game. He had a total of 5 touches. 5. After all week, you said we got to find a way to get Duke Johnson the ball. You trade Carlos Hyde. That means you have 2 running backs in the backfield. 5 touches. You have 5 more touches than me and Producer G and all the fans combined. 5. That is ridiculous. It's stupid. I don't know if he's going to get more touches to answer your question. I don't have faith anymore that Hugh Jackson can figure out a way to get him the ball. Now, I know, Corey, who are you to say that you don't have faith in Hugh Jackson? He knows more football than you. Yeah, he does. But he can't figure out how to get Duke Johnson the ball. Hey, throw him a screen. That's 1 touch. Hey, put him in the slot. That's another touch. Quick passes. That's 3. It's not hard to get Duke Johnson the ball, especially when they blitz the crap out of Baker Mayfield. Throw a screen. It's not hard. Give him a toss play. Put him on a reverse. There's so many ways to get Duke Johnson the ball, but he just comes in on 3rd down when it's super obvious what's about to happen. Put them both in the backfield. Oh my goodness, rocket science. It's not that hard. We have playmakers that we can use. And if it's Todd Haley's fault, I'll yell at him too. I don't care who it is. Get Duke Johnson the ball. It's not hard. We're wasting talent. And guess what? If he was to leave Cleveland and go somewhere else, then what will we doing? We will be crying because he'll start balling out because somebody will get him the ball.
Man, I can't believe I'm still looking at this comment where Lee said he reported Isaiah to Facebook as spam. Wow.
I thought he was just joking. Is he serious?
He might have. Browns Nation goes hard.
Well, hey. You say that in the comments. That's what you get. Lee says, big dog, Baker Mayfield. Jim says, get Dookie the ball. I had to get that off my chest. It's been bothering me. You think they do a two running back schemes. Duke in the flat. Here we go. Calvin says, I believe Garrett is going to break loose and Agba. Calvin says, right, we will cry and hate real quick if he leaves. I mean, it just makes no sense. 5 touches for Duke Johnson. 5. I just don't understand it. And when I watch the game today, I'll be yelling again because he'll come in on 3rd down. He'll be in the shotgun. It'll be 3rd and 14. He'll block, or he'll come out for a little wheel, or he'll, a little comeback 2-yard route. Then they'll throw him the ball and then say, make it happen. I mean, come on.
Appreciate you guys for all your comments. Josh White says you're wrong about the Baltimore game, LOL. He must not have watched when you
roasted myself.
Yes.
I roasted myself, Josh. I love being wrong. You guys don't understand. If I'm wrong, that means something positive happened. I don't care. If they come out and Duke gets 18 touches combined, I will come in here and roast myself. I don't care because that means something positive happened for my team.
Yeah, we were just saying off air how you should probably pick against them every week.
Right, I should. And then they'll win. I don't care. They ain't fine with me. I don't care. My stats ain't going up on the wall. I ain't getting nothing for getting it right. I ain't getting a little sticky note. Nothing. I will be fine with being wrong.
Yeah, so stick around because he's going to tell you what he thinks today.
Yes, stick around. Actually, it's coming up right now. So, bold predictions, big dog of the week. Here we go. Before I get that in, they need to make it easier for Baker, says Jason. Clint says we need Landry and Duke in the slot more. And Johnny says, got to stay away from 3rd and long. And Calvin says, what up, Producer G?
What up, Calvin?
All right.
Appreciate you tuning in.
Big dog of the week for me is a guy I haven't picked yet, and it's kind of shocking. It's going to be Baker Mayfield. That is my big dog of the week. I think they're going to try to keep it balanced. I think they're going to run the ball. That will try to keep the Steelers' offense off the field a little bit. But I think Baker's still going to have to throw it in the air. Last week, he didn't eclipse 300 yards. Last week, he didn't even eclipse 250 against the Buccaneers. It's terrible. But this week, I still don't see him getting to 300. But I think it's a balanced attack. They try to stay balanced as much as possible. I think he comes out. My big dog of the week is Baker Mayfield, 297 yards. 3 touchdowns for Baker Mayfield, 26 of 38 passing for Baker Mayfield. He is my big dog of the week, and the key to Baker is he will not turn the ball over today. He had a big turnover against Tampa Bay at the end of the half, and it actually ended up being huge coming the game. And also we know about Pepper's fumble, but I won't even get into that. Not at all. Now, who's going to win the game? What you all been waiting for. Everybody but Isaiah and Eddie is all on Cleveland at Pittsburgh. I don't know when's the last time we beat Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh. I probably was a toddler. Not a toddler, but you understand what I'm saying. Johnny says you got to admit Baker's a stud. He brought excitement. LA said 297, round up to 300. LA, I'm trying to be precise.
John, hey, when you bet, you get half a yard. When you go to make a bet. So
being precise, LA. Being precise.
LA said, I'm sorry, hang on a sec. Well, I lost the comment, so never mind. Yeah. I'll find it.
So we all are on the Browns, huh? They're going to go into Pittsburgh. This is a big game. They're going to beat Cleveland. They're going to beat the Steelers at Pittsburgh, where we haven't won since I don't know. Now, I have had picks before the year, and I have not went off of them. And here is where I'm about to get booed, but guess what? I don't care. I don't see the Browns winning this game. Turmoil during the week. Pittsburgh at home. Off a bye week. At Pittsburgh, where Ben Roethlisberger actually plays well at home and he stinks on the road. I had us beating Pittsburgh at home, game 1, which should have happened, and it didn't. Had us winning last week. Should have happened, and it didn't. So here we go. I got Pittsburgh winning 28-21. Browns lose by 7. All the touchdowns will be Baker's touchdowns. 28-21. Browns lose. And if I am wrong, yes, another roast session will be in the building next week. I hope we win and I am wrong, but I just don't see it happening at Pittsburgh. Coming off a bye week, turmoil this week with Cleveland. I don't see it happening, but we will see what happens. 1 o'clock. I'm not going to switch my pick off emotion. I did think about it, though. I am an honest person, and G will tell you. I thought about switching my pick based off emotion, but I said, you know what? I'm going to keep it. I said, how can I pick Pittsburgh? I hate them, but I'm not going to switch. I had them at the beginning. Nothing has showed me to switch it, so I'm going to stick with it. But guess what? I was wrong, and I could be wrong again. Hope that I'm right.
JC Sigafus says overtime again, so that leads me to think. I wonder what the NFL record is for a team that goes to overtime games. Is it 4 already? Geez. And then last one, how many times have you almost had a tie? That's ridiculous. I seen Lee said reverse psychology.
I hope so. Lee says Big Ben throws 2 interceptions today. We do need turnovers because they're going to put points on the board. If we sit here and think our defense is just going to shut them down, I don't see it happening. And once again, I just threw out a nugget that could go back on me, and I hope I'm right. So there it is, 28-21. I have Pittsburgh winning. I have Baker throwing all of our touchdowns, 3 TDs, and we lose in another close game, 7 points to our division rival.
We must always have, and be in sync with these score predictions. We always have it very close. So I got Pittsburgh winning 28-20. My bold prediction, Myles Garrett scores today, fumble recovery touchdown.
Okay.
Write it down.
And Laura says Browns win the OT record. Clint Gold says 5 games, early years, 5 OT is the record, 5 GB. I think it says Green Bay, maybe. 5 Green Bay early years, 5 OT is the record. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And before we go, Ellis says, can we talk about his O-line? Baker is getting blasted. Whose fault is that? Well,
appreciate that stat, Clint.
Thank you, Clint, for that stat. It has to go back to coaching to me, LA. I mean, if you see your quarterback getting blasting, it's one of the 2 things. You tell your O-line to block better, or you switch plays to get the ball out of Baker's hands faster. Get the ball out of his hands. Quick passes, quick plays, then open it up for him. Stop having him drop back forever to throw the ball, routes that take time if you see your quarterback getting blasted. And one more thing I wanted to say before we get off here. Can we watch TJ Watt, please? Can somebody please stop him? TJ Watt has murdered us the past 2 games, and in week 1, he had 10 tackles for 3 sacks. Please stop him. Please. That's all I got for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, stop TJ Watt, please.
Actually, so I kind of just came up with a question. So, would you rather win now, and keep dragging this thing out and maybe go 8-8 and you improve a little, because obviously it's going to be tough to make playoffs with 4 losses. But, so would you almost rather the Browns lose so you can get Hugh Jackson out of there and go ahead and start over, or would you rather him win half the games remaining and go at it again next season? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I'm kind of feeling about my Cowboys too. I kind of want the team to just tank so Jason Garrett can get out of there. So I'm wondering if you kind of have that same kind of feeling.
I'd rather win. I'm tired.
So you'd rather go 8-8 and then drag it out.
If we win 8-8, that means he's learning how to do something right.
Well, you can't be 8-8, but yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. 7 whatever and 1.
Yeah.
I'd rather win now. That means he's learning to do something right, and obviously he can coach better than what I expected and a lot of people. So I'd rather win now. Then
I was just curious.
Yeah, that means we're doing something right. We're on the right path. We ain't got to switch nothing. We ain't got to fire nobody and start all the way over. Because I don't want to start over. I don't.
Maybe it's just me. When you have your head coach for 9 years of mediocrity, you might want to change. I don't know.
You had 9 years. We got 3. So, yeah. I just want to win now, get it going, and we can build for the future. I'm tired of waiting for the next season, getting new people and praying this works. Just win. I'm rooting for Hugh. I'm just tired of the same crap.
LA says he wants Hugh out. He don't want to see any more talent get wasted. So he's on my kind of thinking, like, just lose games so he can
go. If they're going to do it quickly. Stop wasting time.
That's basically what I'm getting
One
at.
or the other.
Do you really want to drag this out into next season?
Then don't drag it out.
If you don't believe he's the guy.
Right. If you're going to do it, pull a Josh Gordon. Just do it. Oh, you was late. You're fired. Oh, wow. Okay. Just do it.
Robin said, just win now. Tired of the next season talk, because it's always next season, next season. I understand that, but if you start winning now, I feel like you're going to prolong the inevitable, which may be that Hugh Jackson is just not a good coach and he's never going to win anything for you. That could end up being the inevitable, and as long as he keeps winning, keeps winning. As long as he wins something, you're going to keep prolonging that, hoping that he's going to continue to improve, and then you'll keep wasting time.
Yep. And Lee says win today. And Steve says, this is Steve from Baltimore, Maryland. Been a Browns fan for 30 years. I have to agree with using Duke more. Is it time to fire Hugh? Please tell me. LA says great show as always, gents. And Laura says I agree with G. Browns have talent. Let's use it.
Thanks for that comment, Steve.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Out in Baltimore. All right.
I wonder how many first-time viewers or commenters we had today.
I'm not sure.
Well, if you are watching for the first time,
make sure you come back.
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, the whole shebang.
Everything Browns
Social
Nation.
Media.
Everything Browns Nation. YouTube, subscribe, please. Fan Chat Nation, go ahead and like that Facebook page. We are starting everything for the fans. Got more content coming for you guys. Lee says great show. Ladies and gentlemen, Browns come on in 49 minutes. This is Everything Browns Nation. I am Corey Boyd. That is Producer G. I'll be back next week, and if the Browns win, I'm roasting myself again. Go Browns. Let's go. Yeah.